make a change in your life when there's a shift, everything kind of shifts. So even if it's as small as going to the hairdresser and having him cut your hair differently or giving you highlights because it's the summertime, all of a sudden you go out and everybody that you run into is like, oh my God, your hair looks so great, you look so great. Or they don't even know what you did to your hair, but they say to you, wow, you look so different, you look really good, what did you do? And when you start hearing that again and again, there's this positive reinforcement that's going through your body, and then when you go out, you're kind of all like, oh, I'm really great now, you know, I look really good. And then that attitude comes across differently, and then you attract different men. Too many women in this city are victims. You know, they complain, oh, it's all the guys. The guys are commitment phobic, they cheat, they two-time, they this, they that, they're victims. You know, well, I can't stand it, it's New York, it's the men, they're awful. You know, and even men will tell you, I know so many great women and there are no great guys in New York. There's some great guys in New York. We all have friends who have found great guys. Like, what are you going to do to find your great guy? What are you going to change in your life to find the great guy that you're looking for you? Like, you can't just sit there and wait for him to come knocking on your door. I can't stand when girls say to me, oh, I'm not doing online dating, it's not for me. I mean, I'm a matchmaker, like I'm happy to take your thousands of dollars, but I still tell you, go put a profile up on Match.com, go put it up on eHarmony, go put it up on JD, go put it somewhere. When I was single, I had a profile on Match.com. I'm a frigging matchmaker, I had a profile on Match.com. I was a single girl, I wanted to meet somebody. I said to myself, you have to do what you have to do to meet somebody, so I put a profile. When a 47-year-old guy has a choice between a girl who's 27, who just got to New York, who has the 27-year-old body, the 27-year-old disposition, 27-year-old mindset, and then he has a girl to choose from who's 45, who's bitter, has been around the block and dated everybody and has to get married in 2 seconds because she wants to have a baby, he's going to choose the 27-year-old, at least for the time being. So you have to understand what he's thinking about, what he's going through, and you have to make sure that you put your best foot forward. And you can think that you're the hottest 39-year-old on the planet. You can think that you have the sexiest body and he tells you he likes older women. A lot of men will say, a lot of boys will say they like older women. But chances are they're just saying that. I mean, do they really marry the girl who's, I mean, yeah, if you're Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore, yeah, that happens. But like we're all trying to live in the real world, it's not really happening. I mean, if you're betting, if you're taking your odds, right? Like if you're betting the horse races, if you're going to Belmont this weekend, you need to bet on the horse that has the highest chance of winning. The guy who's 8 years younger than you, chances are he's not winning. He's not winning that race. You're not winning that race with him. You're just wasting your time. If you had a crappy day at the office, I say this all the time, you're better off canceling the date than going and being in a bad mood, because you have to remember that you only get one chance to make a good first impression. So if you're going on a date, especially a blind date, and you're in a bad mood, like he doesn't know the great mood you were in yesterday, and he doesn't know the great mood you're going to be in tomorrow. He only knows the mood that he's seeing at that moment at the table that night. So if you can't make yourself seem light and fun and happy and in good energy, not complaining, then don't go, because he's not going to go out with you again. I think that a lot of women wear black because they think that it makes them look slim, or it makes them look dressier, or it makes them seem more established, or whatever it is. But men generally tell me that women who wear black look older. They think that they don't seem fun, they don't seem light, they don't seem happy. Men prefer women who wear color. Men say to me, I just want to be with a woman who's happy. I want to be with a woman who has light, happy energy, who seems fun, who seems easygoing. I don't want to be with someone who feels negative. You know, I'm all day long at the office dealing with all of the stress and all of the crap. I just want to come home and be with someone happy. So I think that going along with the black, if you're wearing some color, even if you're just like this sour bitch and have the color on, at least he thinks, okay, she seems nice. And I think that it's just that, I mean, I'm making a joke about it, but it's true. I mean, you know, some women are like, well, I'm a bitch, and guys like it. Guys like it for a moment, but guys don't like to marry it.
What do you recommend in terms of your age, like older guys, younger guys? You know, does it matter?
You should be open to going out with someone like 10 to 12 years older than you. You know, people who come to me and say, oh, you know, I'm 37 and I'll go out with someone between 37 and 43. Again, no, you won't, because you need to be open to 37 to 47, even though you don't want to be. Like, you have to realize that men up to 50 are going to seem young to you. Like, I know in your head, you think, oh my God, well, 50, that's just like my dad. Not anymore. He's not like your dad anymore. He was like your dad when you were 22, but when you're 38, the 50-year-old is no longer like your dad. He's like your contemporary.
This is a room of like beautiful women. You know, everyone seems very successful, happy, attractive. I mean, you guys are all beautiful. You know, I have friends who are just the same. We're in a city of 8 million people. What is the problem?
I think that there are too many choices in New York, unfortunately. I think that people are expecting too much. I think that people came to New York City because they're chasing perfection. They need to be the best. They need to be with the best. So it's very easy to say, this person's good, but I can find better. Because most people who live in New York City are overachievers. That's what brought them here, because if you weren't an overachiever, let's face it, you choose another city to live in because it's hard to live here. So most people who are here are overachievers. They're looking for somebody that they probably can't really have. And I think a lot of times also people aren't being real about themselves. And this is another talk that I do other times, but I talk about when you're dating, you have to get very real with yourself. You have to understand who you are, who you're not, and who the guy is. So you need to be dating as yourself. Another thing that men tell me is when they're out, girls who are in packs of girls, they won't approach them. Men get intimidated. It doesn't matter how confident they are, they're CEO of a gigantic company, they're making $5 million a year, doesn't matter. When it comes to being social in the social environment, they get intimidated. If you're standing in a huddle like this, it doesn't work. There's no entry place. You're like this, how do they get in? If you're with a group of girls, if you stand like a C, that's okay because they can approach. If you go out with a group of friends, break off. Make sure that you are the one on the edge of the group. If you have to be with a group, be on the edge over here, so that if he sees you, he can, you know, come over this side and talk to you. If you're in the middle, like if you're a center of attention girl like I am, like guys not coming in the middle because you're in the middle. Like, you need to be on the edges so that he talks to you. Or if you're with a group of people, every 15 minutes or so, go to the bathroom, go get yourself a drink, break away. Because if you're spending all that time getting yourself dressed, getting yourself ready, going out, and then all you do is talk to your friends the whole evening, you're not meeting anybody, and you know you're out to meet somebody. So be aware when you're out of standing in the right place, smiling a lot, letting guys know that you want to be approached so that they approach you. And when you're wearing something like this, the guy looks at you and he's like, wow, she's feminine, she's flirty, she's sexy. You know, I can't tell you how often I hear from women, well, I can't wear that to the office. I have to wear a suit to the office. I have to be conservative. I work in investment banking. I'm a lawyer. I don't want to hear it. Like, just plan your date, time to go home and change. Or call me crazy, but when I worked at an office, they had bathrooms there. Like, just go into the bathroom and change into something when you're walking out the door. There's no excuse. The guy doesn't care that you work in investment banking. He doesn't care that you have dress code. He wants to see you look pretty. That's it. Because the girl last night, she didn't have dress code. And tomorrow night, she doesn't have dress code either, so just wear something pretty for him because that's what he wants. So I think that this is awesome.